listening to Mildly Offensive with your host, Corey Wagner and Dylan France.
It's show 13, and Dylan did it all for the nookie. So he could take his cookie and shove it up his ass. Yeah.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, he's shoving that cookie up his ass.
Why wouldn't you?
And guys, quite frankly, it's a sexual thing for him. He's loving it strong.
So yeah, we're here to tell you to make sure you tell your mamas to hold your babies tight.
Yeah, hold those babies. Mamas, make sure those babies are tight. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowgirls. Is that what it is?
I think something like that.
Something like that. By the way, FYI, guys, listeners of the show, obviously we don't have very many of them, but we do appreciate the listen, if you listen. We are Mildly Offensive, and I am currently watching, or I was 3/4 of the way through, the Kurt Warner story, which, the American Underdog, very, very underrated movie, very good movie, and you should tune in, watch this sucker. It's a very funny movie, a little depressing.
That's what makes it funny.
Yeah, when the tornado hits his lover's parents' house, very funny.
Yeah,
very funny. Obviously, apparently they die. Sucks. I don't want to give it away. Spoiler alert. Yeah, but funny stuff. So we're gonna get into baseball.
It's based on a true story, you fuck.
This is based on a true story, you fuck. We're going to get into baseball. Obviously, Matt's not here today, guys. Matt had a prior arrangement with work.
Maybe we're going to call the store that Matt works for, though, in a little while and raise some hell. Well, hey, dude, you're on the podcast. Thanks for answering. No, thank you for calling Five Below.
Yeah, listen, Five Below.
This is Matt, and I'm miserable. Hey, Matt, you missed me shoving a cookie up my ass. I'm glad you asked.
Hey, Matt, Five Below just became Five Above because you're there, guy.
Yeah. Knock, knock. Who's there? Not you! Hang up.
Yeah, you below. Five Below.
Yep.
So
you blow.
So why don't we get into baseball a little here now that we're talking about it?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of frustrating.
It's a point of contention.
We've been doing this show since...
late October?
Yeah. Something like that, right?
Nah, I have no idea.
I don't either.
When did we start the show?
I think it was October.
No, it wasn't, was it? November? October? Was it October? Maybe it was October. Holy fuck.
I think the first show we did was when the Jets beat the Bengals.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. It's late September and I really should be playing school.
I fucked that up.
Uh,
It's just my favorite word.
I feel like being abused.
We've been talking about how this has been looming, though.
Yeah,
we previewed what we wanted the Yankees to do, and ultimately what we should have said was we want them to just have a season.
Well, I think what we really meant to say is that Freddie Freeman wants too much goddamn money. Freddie, if you take less money, maybe the season will happen. What do you think?
Well,
would you like? So let me ask you this. So why don't we go through the Yankee stuff a little bit, and then we'll dive into the labor negotiation stuff, and then we'll kind of go on a tangent. So Freddie Freeman, would you rather him or Anthony Rizzo? Or Matt Olson? Matt Olson.
If not Freddie Freeman, then one of those two, obviously.
But who would you prefer out of the three?
I would love to have Freddie Freeman. I think.
Do you think
he's a lefty, right?
Yeah. Yes, he is a lefty.
And
do you think he's the best option out of the three?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't the contact rate better with Rizzo, though?
Well, I don't know.
How do you not know that? You're a big Met fan.
I'm not a contact rate guy.
You're a Met fan.
We're not Chahola guys here.
You're a Met fan, though.
No, I'm not.
I think you kind of are. You're an
a Met fan.
You're an NL East kind of guy.
Oh, come on.
This guy is a Marlin fan. I think he's upset. He's very upset today, guys, that the fucking Marlins let go, or Derek Jeter left the Marlins.
Derek Jeter let go of the Marlins. The Marlins didn't let go of him.
Yeah, well, I think Dylan wanted to give the old
listen
up the butthole.
What is it here? What are you? I don't understand what's even happening here.
So
just constant gay jokes. I'm not even gay. I'm glad you asked.
So why don't we
Anyway, I would like to have Freeman over Rizzo and Olsen. And hey, since we're making gay jokes, maybe I'll just have all three of them at the same time.
Oh yeah, maybe they can splurge on your face. Anyway, so why don't we? Okay, so you'd rather have Freeman than Olsen, but Olsen over Rizzo. Is that what you're saying? They're all lefties, right? So
I'd be okay with any of them.
So this is the way I see it. If the Yankees have to give up a shit ton of prospects to get Olsen, I'd rather them have Rizzo or Freeman because of that. I would rather sign a free agent than give up the prospects.
Right.
But unless we're getting something crazy back from the Athletics with Olsen.
I think the door has closed on I think Freeman is realistic.
Yeah.
I think it's really realistic, but I also think the door has closed on Correa.
Why do you say that?
Because I think that he wants too much money.
Because he signed with Scott Boras?
Yeah, I think that could be it. I think there's multiple things that are telling us that we're not going after Correa.
Multiple orgasms.
I think we're really high on our shortstop prospects.
I think the Yankees really like Volpe a lot.
I forget who I was listening to the other day, but they said the only way that signing Correa would make sense is if you had him for like a bridge deal. You give him like a 1 year, $30 million deal. Which,
so
I mean, I wouldn't mind having him for 1 year, but at the same time,
but let's be honest, Correa is not taking a 1 year deal.
No.
Correa wants an 8 year deal. Correa wants a 9 year deal. Might even want a 10 year deal. The Yankees will not give him that. Now that being said, could I see them giving him a 6 or 7 year deal and making him the third baseman when they bring up the prospect to be the shortstop? Fine, but then what do you do with their third baseman right now? What the heck's his name again?
Oh yeah, the guy. What's his name? Gio
Urshela. So what do we do with Gio Urshela at that point? Do we make him a utility infielder and spread him around? Because I think he could be. Now,
I think we tell him thanks for coming, sayonara, pal. Send him to the Mets for a bag of rocks.
Maybe, but the problem I have with that is Gio Urshela is a great.
Yeah, he's a
very good third baseman.
Very good player.
Is he a great hitter? No, and I know that Correa is. And typically, historically, shortstops that are great shortstops become third baseman because you don't have to have the range to play third base, and plus you still have the hitting ability. And honestly, though, I think that's probably the smartest decision. If the Yankees want to spend the money on Correa, which I think they should. So this is my dilemma with this, Dylan, is you don't get athletes that are great at this age as free agents ever. So for him to be in this position, the Yankees have to capitalize on it, I think, because ultimately, yes, he wants a shit ton of money, but these guys don't become free agents.
Right.
They just don't. Because he was in Houston, because of the allegations of cheating, because of all this shit that went down, I think that's the reason he's in the position he's in now. If it were a normal team with a normal way of doing things, and the allegations of cheating never happened, I don't think he would have been a free agent at this point. Do you?
No, absolutely not. And I will tell you this though, I would rather have him every day of the week and twice on Sundays than have Altuve. I wouldn't even, because of the stuff in Houston, I wouldn't even want to look at him.
Listen, I love Altuve. I think Altuve's a great player. Now, would I want him on the Yankees? If we had a chance to get Jose Altuve, I would take the chance. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, I'm gonna disagree with that just because it's probably not gonna ever happen.
But I don't think that either guy. I think both guys are just as guilty as the other. I don't think Correa is any better than Altuve. You think that Altuve is less guilty somehow in the whole scheme of things here?
Well, I mean, I think that Altuve was wearing a fucking wire.
I agree with that.
I don't think Correa was wearing a fucking wire.
I agree with that, but at the same time, Altuve
don't take off my shirt, he said.
Altuve and Correa are both great players.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we had a chance to get either of them, and because we have a chance to get Correa, is the reason I'm saying we should get Correa. If we had a chance to get Altuve, I would get Altuve. I would. I think the Yankee fans, the minute Correa hits the first home run, the minute he drives in the first 120 RBIs, the minute he hits 35 home runs, and Michael Kay said this as well, that people will forget that they hated the guy so much.
I don't hate Correa.
Baseball is a fleeting emotions game, and I think the same would be said for most fans with Altuve. And again, why.
I'll agree with that, because if he came to us, if we had a chance to get him and he came to us and fucking exploded and fucking went crazy and hit a bunch of fucking home runs, then yeah, I'd get over it. But I want him to stay with the Astros, so I have a reason to still fucking hate them.
And the reality is he's probably not going to stay with the Astros, but I think maybe the Tigers or somebody's going to give him crazy money. I think the Yankees have an outside shot to get him, but I see them spending the money? Probably not. I think the Yankees are going to cheap out. They're probably going to try to go get Andrelton Simmons, which is a bad idea. I mean, Andrelton Simmons for 1 year is not a great solution. What is that? Is he going to win us a championship?
The fact that we're even going down this road
right
now frustrates the fucking hell out of me because it really I'm really starting to think, and the last time we hit on this, I think that Cashman doesn't see anything wrong with running the same fucking team back as last year.
Which is the problem. We cannot run a team that cannot hit anything other than home runs or strikeout, and our defense is shit. Aaron Hicks would have been a great center fielder for us if he was healthy. He's never healthy. We got to get rid of him. We have to get a better center fielder. We also have to go get a better shortstop. We have to get a better catcher. Those, like, up the middle of our infield and outfield, we have to be much fucking better. And if we can do that, we could be a championship caliber team. Problem is, I don't know that they're going to go get a better catcher than Sanchez. Probably not. And I'm doubting that they're going to get a better shortstop than we had last year. And honestly, I thought that, obviously, last year our shortstop play was awful.
Listen.
Yeah, but and honestly,
fucking bring Didi back if you're gonna go after Simmons.
If you're gonna go after Simmons,
Didi would be a better option.
Didi would be a better option. I agree, but they're not gonna bring Didi back. The metrics aren't there. He's not that good. He's slipped. He's a bad defender. Bringing Didi back would give the fans something to be happy about, even, at least. Like, you might think that, people don't care, but the sentimentality on Didi Gregorius is huge. People love Didi.
Yeah.
And when we let go of Didi, people were pissed off, and he's a great clubhouse guy. Now, I'm not saying Didi's going to be great for us. I don't know. At this point, he has slipped. And his defense and offense aren't what they were. But is he better than Andrelton Simmons? Absolutely.
I think he's better than anybody that we would put out there on
our current roster.
Yeah.
At shortstop.
Yeah. No, now the thing with Sanchez too, not to fucking put lipstick on a pig.
As Michael Kay would say.
Yeah.
Lipstick on a pig.
Listen,
lipstick on your mother.
They're not catching.
Your mother's a very attractive woman.
The lightning that they think they're going to catch in this bottle with Sanchez isn't there.
Dude, how many years has it been? 17, 18, 19, 20?
I think Sanchez came up at the end of 16, didn't he?
I think he might have. So that's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is his seventh season. This is, like, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, if this is your seventh year and you're still not a superior defender and you really aren't a great hitter, you're not ever going to be a great player in the major leagues. Like, he's not. Listen,
you're not catching that lightning.
And the Yankees should have traded him. They were afraid that another team would get him and make him better
and catch the lightning.
The problem is the guy doesn't have it. He just does not have it. And like Austin Romine, I personally didn't like him. I thought he was a douchebag as a person. I had an interaction with him in the minor leagues. Over in Trenton, I said, "Hey, where's I was looking for Austin Romine at the time. Oh, no, not Austin Romine. I was looking for who's the guy that they traded to Seattle? The catcher.
Oh, fuck.
Montero.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, hey, where's Montero? And he said, he's not here. He's in AAA. And he was all pissed off that I asked about Montero because he was in AA. Romine was.
Oh,
he was a real dickhead about it. He was
must have been better than you if you're here and he's there.
Yeah, the guy was a real cunt about it.
Yeah,
He was not happy I was asking.
That's a cunty name, Austin.
Austin Romine. His brother was a cunt too, from what I was told.
What's his brother's name?
Houston.
Houston.
I
Houston Romine.
I think they're both from Texas. just let those folks know, they got good ribs over there in Houston and Austin. Ultimately, let's like cut back on the whole bullshit here with Austin. Listen, Austin got a starting job with the Tigers. Good for him. Go fuck yourself. But ultimately, the Yankees, I don't know. Hopefully Austin Wells, which is their prospect, is a guy that's going to be good. They're going to keep him as a catcher, so we'll see what happens with him.
It's bittersweet right now that the season's not starting because obviously you want to watch baseball. We love baseball.
Definitely.
But at the same time, if
I'm
we're
paying
running
a lot of money for DirecTV here, so
if we're running the same fucking team out there, then I don't want to fucking watch.
If we're running the same team out there, you and I both know how it's going to end. We're going to fucking lose in the fucking wild card.
Okay, I really hope there's not a season if they're going to run the same fucking team out.
Well, hopefully after the CBA is signed, sooner than later, we sign a whole bunch of fucking guys like Freddie Freeman and like I don't know, maybe Carlos Correa, and hopefully we sign a fucking center fielder, and then we run the tables, but we have the requisite players for it. We'll see what happens.
Somebody recently picked the Yankees to win the World Series.
Yeah, and it was probably a bet of it was probably I'm gonna lay $5 down and win 5,000 or some bullshit because I'm sure it was a long shot odd, right?
I gotta think they're every year they're the favorite to come out of the American League, and then they can't fucking beat Tampa.
No, I don't know. I don't think they're the favorite to come out of the American League. I think they're the favorite to win the AL East probably, but that doesn't mean shit because you and I both know that they're probably not going to win the AL East.
Yeah,
so
you're probably right.
We're gonna come back at you. We're gonna come back on you. We're gonna take a break.
Hold your babies.
Hold those babies. Make sure they're tight. Make sure they're close to the breast. Make sure I can suck those breasts because I'm a big breast sucker.
Molesta la breasta. That's your Spanish phrase of the day.
Yeah, and honestly, LeBron, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Leave LA. Leave LA. Leave LA. And if Putin bombs LA, fuck it.
Aim for LeBron.
At least he's not fucking bombing New York. And that's what I gotta say about that.
Man, my stomach really hurts.
Really? Your stomach hurts that bad? Well, why don't you try Kaopectate? It's supposed to relieve heartburn and diarrhea in what will feel like no time at all.
Yeah, I've heard about that Kaopectate. They've been in business for over 20 years, and unlike Pepto-Bismol, the taste is much more bearable. So where can I pick up this amazing Kaopectate?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's the best part of this product. Anyone can find it at their local drugstore or supermarket.
Great, gotta go get me some Kaopectate.
Okay, there you go.
We're back. Sorry, guys. I had a
cock in his throat.
I had a cackle in my throat. This movie's amazing. This American Underdog.
Except for the blind kid on the John Deere.
Yeah.
Not really sure how that works into things here, but...
Hey, John Deere, will you let us know how that fares? Can you tell us if that's a safe practice by the studio here? Stevie
Wonder has 3 of them.
John Deere's?
No. They're actually caterpillars, but what does he know? He's blind.
What a douche.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you know.
I digress. Kurt Warner just got on the Rams. It's a fantastic day.
Yeah, and we're
spinning.
Haven't heard any news about baseball. Looks like
strike is strong and going.
Yeah. Well.
So let's get into the
we're going to talk about something we haven't really talked about on this podcast. AIDS. I mean, the NBA.
Well, Magic Johnson, we could talk about.
We did talk about him.
AIDS? Because you said AIDS?
No, we talked about Magic Johnson because I said that was a perfectly good porn name that wasn't used.
That's true, and my porn name would be Easy Rider. Anyway, so why don't we get to some NBA?
Obviously.
Let's get to the Knicks a little bit, right?
The Knicks.
Is Tom Thibodeau going to get fired?
I really hope not. I think that bringing him in is great. They have a very young team, and you know he's done well with young players in the past, and I don't think that it's fair to fire a guy after one bad. They had a great year last year. They won 20 win. They had 20 more wins than what they were supposed to, and the problem that I have is the other night they played Miami and they lost, and R.J. Barrett scored 46 points, and it's very frustrating when your best young player scores 46 points and you can't pull off a win.
I mean, honestly, Thibodeau is a very good coach, but he's not willing to rotate the younger players in as much as they want, and he's not willing to deviate from some things that might not work. And I'm a little bit afraid that Thibodeau might be too stuck in his ways. And now I'm not saying he's a bad coach, and I'm not saying he deserves to be fired. He's the best coach the Knicks have had in a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid the Knicks are going to pull the trigger too quick here.
The Fizdale experiment was terrible. The Jeff Hornacek was fucking awful.
Yeah. So.
Well, actually, you know what? Let me go back a little bit. Hornacek, for what he had to work with, I didn't think was bad. A lot of times when he spoke after games, it pissed me the fuck off. But when you've been fucking in an incompetent organization for the better part of however many years it's been since fucking Patrick Ewing.
Better part of fucking 20 plus years.
They last time they won a championship was 1970, so they're right there with the Jets.
Oh jeez.
But
the Knicks were really good in the 90s. So Patrick Ewing and whatnot, they had a lot of really good players in the 90s. The Knicks were really bad the last 20 plus years.
With the exception of maybe 2 years with Melo.
Yeah, and they were also, they were decent with Ewing. They were decent with what the hell? They were decent with Ewing, right? Back in the 90s, right?
Yeah, they were good.
They were good. They were good with Ewing, and then obviously with Melo they were okay. But they've been pretty much an embarrassment. For the better part of 20 plus years.
That's why I think it's crucial to.
And actually, for the first time ever, the Nets the Brooklyn Nets have a fan base in Madison Square Garden, because I think the Knicks have officially pissed off enough loyal fans that they're no longer willing to wait.
I actually enjoy watching the Nets play. As much as I don't know 3/4 of the time what the fuck Kyrie Irving's talking about.
Are you upset that Durant didn't come to the Knicks?
Obviously, yeah. I would have loved to have him.
What do you think? Do you think that he didn't come to the Knicks because of Dolan? Primarily? That's probably the reason.
If I had to, yeah. But, when he didn't come to the Knicks, I questioned it. I questioned a lot of things about Kevin Durant when he didn't come to the Knicks. Not just because I'm a Knicks fan, but why wouldn't you want to be the guy that turned this thing around? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you win, and if you win with the Knicks, it's different than winning with the Nets.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
like winning with the Nets is great, and obviously Brooklyn's Brooklyn. Brooklyn's a new and up and coming team, but the Nets were New Jersey.
Yeah.
The Knicks are New York.
Yeah.
Like the Knicks are Madison Square Garden. It is the epicenter of the city. Like they are the pulse of the city. Like if you win with the Knicks,
Yeah.
you're enshrined in NBA glory. Now like Kobe always had his best games when he went to the Garden. I know MJ had his best games when he would go to the Garden. I like everybody plays great at the Garden. The question is
That's because the Knicks suck.
But the question is why wouldn't someone want to come and be a part of that? And I guess the whole point is if Durant was this transcendent personality as well as talent. Now Durant's a great talent, but his personality it doesn't lend itself to trying to be the man. Like he likes to be the.
He's defensive.
He likes to be.
He doesn't handle criticism well.
He likes to be on the back burner. He likes to not be the center of attention. And Durant, if he was more like Kobe, or if he was an alpha personality like Jordan or Kobe, I think he would have went to the Knicks. And the Knicks probably would have been a much better team because of it. But at the end of the day,
he didn't.
He didn't. He went to the Nets, and he's with Kyrie, and he was with Harden, and now Harden's in Philly, and you got fucking. You got Ben Simmons who can't shoot in Brooklyn, and we'll see what happens with that. But honestly, Harden being in Philly, and everybody thinks Harden and everybody thinks Harden and Embiid is going to be this great duo. I disagree with that. I'm not sure about that. We'll see.
I actually think that the Nets won that trade.
Really?
Yeah.
You think getting Simmons and who?
They got Seth Curry,
but you think that...
And they got Andre Drummond, too, I believe.
Yeah, but well, Drummond's not that good. He was on the Nets on the Lakers last year.
Yeah, but listen, Harden was not gonna play up to the level of the way Harden could play because he wanted to leave.
Yeah.
He did the same thing trying to leave Houston, got to Brooklyn, and now he's doing the same thing to go back to his...
Yeah.
Because
he's with Daryl Morey, which is his homie, his home slice.
Yeah,
but ultimately, and I know that he's probably going to get tired of Philly. Philly's gonna become old, and Philly's he's gonna want out of Philly.
He's gonna go back to Houston.
This guy's a fucking diva. He's a fucking diva and a half, and he's a headache.
Good player.
Great. He's a great player. He's a great player. He doesn't play any defense. He's a great scorer, but he's a diva. So I guess if we're going to talk NBA here, let's talk Eastern Conference. Who do you think's the number one out of the Eastern Conference right now?
So as it stands right now, I believe it's actually the Chicago Bulls,
which is impressive. I know.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan's
been great, right?
They've had a really good year. Let me just double check on that and make sure.
I think you're right. I think DeMar DeRozan is the guy right now.
If you asked me,
I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad you asked, Corey. Actually, the number one seed right now in the Eastern Conference is the Heat.
Really?
So as it stands right now, and this is actually kind of shocking to me, it's Heat, Bulls, Sixers, Cavs. That's the top four. Heat, Bulls, Sixers, Cavs is the top four.
Really?
Milwaukee is 5. Boston 6, Toronto 7, and the Nets are the 8th seed right now.
That is crazy.
But Durant's been hurt for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Charlotte is the 9th seed.
Dude, that is crazy.
The Knicks are like 5 games away from even getting into a play-in game right now, which I think it's just time to chalk it up as a bad season and it's over. A lot of rumblings about maybe taking a chance and trading a first-round pick and bringing Zion Williamson over here and letting him get healthy. And
DeMar DeRozan has definitely changed the Bulls' season, though.
I think if you put a gun to my head, I would still go with Milwaukee. I think
Okay.
Milwaukee is still the team to beat in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
What
about the West?
The Western Conference, I like Golden State a lot. Clay's back. They seem to be firing on all cylinders. But right now, another team that's playing really well in the Western Conference is Memphis, coming out of nowhere. They're the 3 seed.
What
right
about
now.
the Suns?
Phoenix is 1. So it's Phoenix, Golden State, Memphis, Utah is the top 4.
Okay.
And then it's Dallas, Denver, Minnesota, Clippers are the 8 seed, and the Lakers are 3.5 games outside of the 8th seed. But with the format, they would be in the play-in game. They would play the Clippers, I believe.
Interesting.
So they would play the Clippers for that 8th seed.
Yeah, listen, the Lakers are utter garbage in the West, and I honestly in the West, I mean, I really fully expect that the Suns are going to be the cream of the crop in the West. So we'll see what happens. Again, East, in Milwaukee, and I think it's Milwaukee and probably Phoenix. But
yeah, I would say probably Milwaukee, Golden State.
Okay, I'm going to say Milwaukee, Phoenix. But we'll see what happens.
Is that an actor?
Isn't
that an actor?
Milwaukee
Phoenix?
I believe that's Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, it was close.
Very close. So let's get into movies real quick, guys. We're sitting
movies.
here. So
boobies!
Dylan, boobies. What's your favorite movies? Are they big, small, middle, in the back?
Kurt Warner's. I'm just kidding.
You like his tits?
Yeah, I like his movie, too.
Woo, boo, boo, boo.
Boo, 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 boo.
So, Dylan, real quick, gun to your head, nuts to your chest. If you had to pick a mountain to ski on, what would it be in the U.S.?
A mountain to ski on?
A mountain to ski on.
Well, I think the answer to that is easy.
Okay. Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
That would be a good mountain to ski on.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jen Macbeth.
Whoa.
We're
We're not talking to her, Jen.
We're asking permission.
You came out of nowhere with that.
We're asking permission for mountain to ski on.
Mountain Creek is where we're going tubing.
Yeah. We're tubing in the boobin.
Test tubing.
We're tubing in the boobin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I thought you were gonna ask me something about a movie.
Jen Mac. Anyway.
That's been my favorite fucking mountain to ski on. That was good. That was really good.
That was good stuff. But if you had to pick a mountain, seriously, what would it be? We're gonna end the show pretty soon, so you gotta pick one.
Pick a mountain.
Mount Peter.
Yeah.
How about Mount
Rushmore.
Vesuvius?
That's a fucking volcano that took out.
Yeah, I know.
Took out the bottom of Italy, right?
Shit, man. I think
Pompeii.
I think it might be, but that would be a good mountain.
That would be a great one to ski on.
It's a tall one.
Yeah, imagine if you skied on it while it was erupting.
That would be like a pecker or jizzing.
Yeah, and you're trying to outrun the very hot jizz that could burn you alive.
What's the difference between that and surfing at that point?
Well, yeah, you got. That's a fair point.
That is a fair point, and that's the point that I'm willing to make. Anyway,
that was a fucked up question. I thought you were gonna ask me about a movie.
Well, how would you rate his Kurt Warner movie?
That's
pretty good, right?
Yeah, not bad.
Decent.
I've only seen about 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, it's very good though.
Yeah, not bad. I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad you asked. So why don't we ease the audience to watch this, listen to this.
Yeah.
Please listen.
All three of you, make sure you watch American Underdog. It's with Kurt Warner, who plays Zach Levi, who was the quarterback for the St. Louis Rams in the 90s. I'm pretty sure I just... Yeah, imagine if Kurt Warner...
Isn't Zach Levi the fucking...
It's the guy who plays
He's
Kurt
the
Warner.
actual actor,
yeah,
jerk off.
I know. I was trying to see how long I could go with your look on your face. You were like, what the fuck is he talking about? I just took it and ran with it.
Zach Levi
plays Kurt Warner.
And he's a very good actor in this.
Dick Vermeil plays Dennis Quaid.
Yeah. Anna Paquetta plays Brenda Mahoney.
Yeah.
And Hayden Zoller plays Zach.
Is Zach the blind guy on the?
Yeah, he's the
He's
blind
the
guy.
blind guy on the John Deere tractor.
He's the blind guy on The Price is Right.
Which, listen,
The Price is Wrong.
if
bitch.
the price is wrong, you don't put a blind kid on the John Deere tractor.
Definitely not.
It's very.
It's a little demoralizing.
Yeah, you know.
This kid's blind.
And you're an underdog. You're supposed to make me believe that you're an underdog and you're careless and you put this blind guy on the...
I mean, guys, we're going to leave you with this. If this was a Ukrainian underdog, then I could understand this. But this is American underdog. And that's a fact, folks. Jack.
Yeah. And don't you come on our back, Jack.
And if this is the Russians watching the Ukrainian underdog, the Ukrainian, I can't even talk. The Ukrainian.
The Ukrainian.
The Ukrainian underdog, obviously, would be
The urethra. Cranium. He's broken. Don't lean too far back. Your chair's going to flip.
I just shit myself,
I
folks.
heard that. I read that somewhere.
Hey, you shit yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It happens to the best of us.
Listen, the Ukrainian underdog would run himself over because he's blind. Anyway, it's been a great night.
And don't put your foot in, put your Putin.
Yeah, don't put your Putin, put your foot in. All right, see you, folks.
Well, it's all right, riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right, if you live the life you please. Well, it's all right, doing the best you can. Well, it's all right, as long as you lend a hand.
You can sit around and wait for the phone to ring, waiting for someone to tell you everything.